Hello and welcome to Nice Big Wrench. Today I'm just showing you a new project. Much as I don't usually show all stages of a project, but I always like to show the introductions. This is my 1963 BSA B40, which I bought recently from Auto Jumble with no paperwork. As far as the bloke I bought it from understands, it's never been registered in the UK. So it could have been a farm bike, it could have been something like that. They did make these for the army, but the frame number doesn't match the serial numbers of the ones that got sold to the army, so it's not an army one. So I don't know. But anyway, yeah, she's a 350cc single 4-stroke. She's in a bit tatty condition, but the engine's got good compression. So that's something to be thankful for. So hopefully I shouldn't need to open the engine at all or do anything to do with that. The tank's the wrong one, and it's been sprayed really badly in situ. So someone's obviously just rubbed it down, giving it a cheap spray paint, because you can see there they've oversprayed onto the frame, onto the carburetor, and onto the frame at the back here as well. So they've done just a cheap and nasty job, and I realised the reason why they did is because the nut that holds it in the top is seized. There should be a rubber bung on here to stop water getting in, and obviously water's got in, it's rusted the nut, and then the nut won't come off. So you can't see, it's too dark. Maybe you can see now. Yeah, I've started cutting the nut away slowly with a Dremel to try and free that up so I can get the tank off. I've replaced it. I've got a new tank to go in it, to go on it. That's about the same. But parts for these are pretty easy to get hold of. I managed to get all the foot rubbers. A fuel tank was like 75 quid. All the control cables need replacing, and even, like, as you can see, the wiring loom's in a bit of a state. And it's like it's been hacked about a bit. Some of these connectors, they're pretty modern ones. So someone's had a go at this recently, trying to bodge it and get it back in working order. It's missing the side cover here, which I've got off of I got that off of eBay as well, second hand. The battery box has snapped along here, the retainer. It should go in there. It's a 6-volt system, not a 12-volt, and it's a positive earth as well. So the frame's positive, not negative, as far as I can tell. Anyway, from the bit of research that I've done. So yeah, she seems to be in good rolling order. The front tyre's a little low. It's got a puncture in the inner tube, I think. But yeah, I quite like it. It's quite a nice project. I wanted a classic. I wanted a 50s one ideally, but I couldn't find one that wasn't a Bantam. It's just everybody sells Bantams, and everybody says, "Oh, get a Bantam because they're the good first classic bike." And I'm just like, I want something a bit different. So I was looking at the C11, C12s. Yeah, and I was just at an Auto Jumble, and the bloke had a couple of Bantams, and he had this, and I'm like, that's kind of my kind of look. I really like it. So yeah, I've been doing a little bit of work on it, but not too much. I've had obviously the new tank arrived, and I've been sorting that out. Obviously all of the sockets and stuff, they're all Imperial, so that's fun. So this is my first classic, so I've got to get used to using Imperial measurements. I've got to get used to using 6-volt, not 12-volt. I've got to get used to it being a positive frame, not a negative frame, or earth rather. And yeah, that's about how it's looking. Someone's had the front wheel out and forgot to put it in properly, so the front drum doesn't slot in, so I'll have to sort that out. The rear seat has got, this usually bolts down, it doesn't come off this easily, but the rear seat's got a crack in the metal there, so I think what I'm going to do is I'll hammer that back into shape, and I'll cut a plate that goes around it, and weld that plate to this plate, rather than go through the effort of unstitching all the leather, because the leather's in reasonably good nick. So don't want to fuff with that. But yeah, it's got this weird, it's like an army green underneath, this kind of green, but then somebody's done this weird like paint job It's really bizarre. I had no idea what they're playing with. That's the coil. That's the main earth from what I can tell. This bit with all these junctions on it. There was, but like, there's this bit of wire that's got a connector on it and then just goes to the end, and it's been snipped off. So did it have a number plate or did it not? Anyway, so yeah, as you see, the rims are a little bit scabby, but it's just surface rust. That should clean up with some wet and dry or some wire wool. And yeah, I think what I'm going to be doing, because it's not being registered, the other thing you have to do is you have to get it in working order before you can register it with the DVLA in the UK. So the process is you write off to the BSA Owners Club and you say, here's my frame number and my engine number, and they say, okay, this is the age, we certify that this bike is this age. And then you take that certificate to the DVLA and you say, please can I have an age appropriate new number plate. So hopefully that's what's going to happen. Hopefully that's what I'm going to get. And yeah, so the plan is just to leave the patina as it is, restore it good enough to get it roadworthy, and then I'll consider full strip down and rebuild. Because all the paintwork kind of needs repainting. It would be nice. The tank that I've got is just plain metal. Someone's scraped all the paint off it already. But yeah, drum brakes front and back, and should be a lot of fun. Yeah, the front brake doesn't do shit at all. You can see, if I pull the lever, you can see how gummy the return movement is. So yeah, it needs a little bit of work, a little jiggery pokery all over really. But little bits of, like, that's as bad as the rust gets really. So that should be, I should be able to clean it up. The shock bushings will need replacing. Yeah, as I say, I've got all new foot peg rubbers on order. I've ordered all new cables. Don't have a decompression lever. I need to find a decompression lever. It's got I've taken it off, but it's got a 7-inch headlight. Just a simple one with a little power light on the top and a speedo. It's got a 60mm Smith speedo. So I'm going to put that back on, and yeah, and then I'll just rock around on it for the summer, and then maybe during the winter I'll tidy it up. But yeah, that's the next project to distract me from all the other projects that I need to be doing, and we'll see how this goes. I'll catch you next time.